Hey everybody, it's Deanna with Tools of Energy, energyprotection.com, your energy shift expert. And it is June 9th, 2019, and I'm still getting the hang of these cameras. I'm so glad for those of you that hung out to come and watch me. I had two really wonderful guys come in last week and help me get the cameras and the lighting set up a little bit better. And I'm still learning how to work a live camera so that we can get the live stream with a better HD quality. So I'm thankful for those of you that bear with me. So let's get started. It is June 9th, 2019, and I'm Deanna Gloyd, your energy shift expert, where I teach highly sensitive people and empathic people how to navigate the planetary energies. And let's just start by telling it like it is. This is an extremely dynamic time to be alive, to be awake, to be alert, and to be aware because there is so much happening. Last year, we worked on our inner selves, we worked on our relationships with other people so that we could be ready for this launch right here, right now, and this time. And this is so big and so huge. And it's very interesting to me that these energy shifts that are happening are coming right during the summer months when people are going on vacation, when people are experiencing heat and all kinds of other things at the same time as these huge planetary shifts. So if you don't already follow me, please tune in either on Facebook to my Facebook page and click follow. And when these broadcasts come on, you'll get them live, or the same for Instagram, or you can see them on the replay on my YouTube channel. So Saturn, Jupiter, Mercury, Mars, and Venus are all getting together, and they're going to line up almost in a straight line. What does that mean? Well, as you know, the planets correspond with the electromagnetic frequencies of the Earth. So if you would think of a giant clock, for those of you that are old school, there was an inner workings of the clocks. And they have the big wheels or cogs, and they go click, 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 and they might stop. And one over here might go click, 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 and it makes things like a cuckoo clock work, or the old chime clocks, like the London clock. And so if you will really connect with our planetary system, the way the planets, the moon and the sun and everything moves, it's like a tick tick and a click click, and it shifts the electromagnetism in our mind. And this is something that was investigated, these harmonic frequencies, by a guy named Schumann. And I have shown you Schumann's resonant frequencies, which I forgot tonight to grab my copy. So I usually don't disappear off camera, but I'm going to ask you to just hang on one quick second. I'm going to get this frequency because it's important you see that these magnetic frequency shifts that affect our minds and bodies and things that I talk about do have some scientific evidence and basis for fact. So like I said, I don't normally get up, but I am going to get the frequency to show you. One moment. Whoop. Okay, thanks. Okay, so this is what's called Schumann's resonant frequency. And so if you will have a look, this is almost like an earthquake, when they measure earthquakes going up and down like this. So normal is down in here. And anytime the electromagnetism goes really big or really large, it will rise up and the frequencies will change. And the last couple of weeks, they were red down in here, which meant that the energies were going between our logical mind and our heart, and our logical mind and our heart. And this week, there's less of that going on. But you can see the pulse. So the energy frequencies are very much picking up, and they're coming up to almost a higher level of consciousness, but not our exact highest level of consciousness. And then it goes back down a little bit and releases and comes back up. And you can see this V pattern. But across this V pattern, this electromagnetism is constantly keeping our emotions in check. And so this particular frequency is about emotions or behavioral patterns, things that are really deep seated in our synaptic nerves. So from the time you were conceived and while you were growing inside until you came out to about roughly 5 to 7 years, your brain, even though it was just forming, was sponging up information around it, things that you don't even remember. And I'm very thankful that we don't remember everything that happens to us from the point of conception, because there's probably a lot of not happy things that happened around us. But your brain still absorbs this energy, and it shapes who you are. It shapes how you act. It shapes how you react, because your body's being programmed. It's like a computer. So what's happening right now is that kind of a computer program is being stimulated to let go of old behavioral patterns, right? That's what's happening right now. I just printed this off before the show tonight so I could show you something that was really extremely current. Now, that in turn has caused people to feel really odd and really off in relationships, especially with our children, our parents, and our spouses. Those are the main relationships that I've seen in my client base that you're experiencing, because if you've got something really deep seated down in your mind that says, this is how things should look when I'm a parent. You don't even know those things exist because that's something that you absorbed either in utero or when you were very small. But it's become part of your makeup, part of your cellular makeup. And yes, they say your cells completely shed every 7 years. But if you've got a cell that says fear, 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 the one behind it that's getting ready to be born, so this one can be shed, says fear, fear, fear. It follows the leader. So if you haven't taken time over this last year to work on yourself, then what was happening to you 7 years ago, or the energies or the emotions you were experiencing, they're coming back up again. And the reason is you've got to transform them now. You've got to do it, okay? It's not my job to tell people you have to do this or you can't do this, but right now I'm going to encourage you from the bottom of my loving heart, as a spiritual mentor, as a spiritual leader, having consciously been awake in this business for over 12 years. This is it, people. Dig deep, get some counseling, come see me, shift some energies, do some deep inner work, and get this stuff cleared out, or address it at least, and begin to work with it. Because the energy shift like that, when it balances out, what God's Spirit Source has in mind is to lift our consciousness and our hearts to a higher level so we can live a more easy and effortless life being connected. Being connected to God's Spirit Source so you know things are going to happen. I mean, it's fabulous. Because if you have a heads up of what's coming, you can make different choices rather than if you're just reactionary where things just start happening to you. That sucks. If you know that if you go to a certain intersection at a certain time, there's going to be a car wreck, you can delay a little bit, not to be involved in that. It's kind of a weird example, but this is what's happening. You want to know why your marriage is off? You want to know why your relationship is off with your significant other, or your spouse, or your children, or maybe even your own parents? If they're living or not, they're still in your head. It's because of this shift. So the best thing, last week, I told you I would share some tools. And my guides were telling me, it's called tools of energy protection, not tool. So in that vein, I promised to share some tools each week. And last week it was essential oils and some other things. So this week there's something called a singing bowl. Okay, you might have seen them. I didn't bring mine tonight. They're usually glass. Sometimes they're made out of different metals. And there's a stick that goes with it, and you move it around the outside, and it has a certain tune, tone, or frequency. And so F and G major are two very important notes this week to either play them with a singing bowl, play them on a guitar instrument you have. If you don't have that or don't have access to it, find a Chopin movement or a Mozart movement with those two in it and listen to it for at least 20 minutes a day, because this is going to help adjust your frequency. And if you don't, your frequency is going to end up looking like this, up and down and up and down and up and down. But this is a let go. Let go of old behavior patterns, let go of things that are no longer serving you. This is a time for closure and new beginnings. But you must close in order to have the new beginning. I'm going to be very straightforward. If you clean out your closet, you can then put new clothes into it, or different clothes or different things. Most of us have so many clothes are all jammed together, especially us women that like to change sizes every few weeks. So if you go in there and you clean your closet out, there then becomes space in it. And one of the rules of this universe is it does not like vacancy. It doesn't like vacuum. Case in point, you have a glass of water. What happens when the water goes out? Is the glass empty? No, air goes in. Air fills that space. It's not just left a vacuum, because it would go and implode. So when you have a closet that's full of clothes, you can't get anything else in there, you probably won't get anything else, or you'll get frustrated. But if you go in there and you clean it out, I don't like this, I don't wear this, I want to give this to someone else, this doesn't fit anymore, and you send it out within sometimes minutes, sometimes days, and sometimes weeks, that closet is full again of clothes or other things that you put in there, because the universe abhors vacuum. So when I clean out my closet, I set an intention. This is a tool. I say, I'm going to take out 18 different things that no longer fit me or that I don't like anymore, and I'm going to give them away, give them back to the universe, and I'm going to allow that space to remain vacant, because the vacancy is going to be the fullness. So if you have a glass of water, you take the water out, air comes in. That is taking up the vacancy, the air. It's not a liquid. Same with a clothes closet, same with your life, same with your beliefs, same with your judgments. Begin to change these things. If you have something so deep-seated, you don't even know what it is. That's where a session with me comes in. God, Spirit, or Source will show me what's behind your actions or your reactions you may not even remember. And once I tell you what they are, because I've received that information, then you can go, oh, that makes so much sense. Or my mom told me about, that I fell on my head in the concrete when I was this age. Whatever it is. Those are the changes that have to be made now. Because if you don't, we've got a series of eclipses coming up. And remember how I talked about the cogs? And it's like tick, 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 and then another wheel goes tick, 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 tick. This is the planets. That's why they shift. That's why they shape. Go get something called the Farmer's Almanac. My uncle used to plant by it. He planted crops by it, because he knew if he planted before or after that, they simply wouldn't come up because of the frequencies of the earth. You can also use it to get bumper crops of like hot peppers. One year I planted hot peppers, and I only planted 4 or 5 plants, but I had so many I had to give them away. One year I planted a basil bush, early, according to this Farmer's Almanac. And I had so much basil that it actually looked like a bush, not these little twigs that you see. So it's about the frequency. It's about the harmonics. So the tools for this week are take things out of your life that no longer help you. And some things you may not be able to see. I myself have gotten angry, just angry in the last 4 or 5 days, just furious. And I'm thinking to myself, what the heck is this? But it'll be something in my 3D world that sets me off. It could be a person. It could be a circumstance. Am I frustrating myself? Am I just not doing things right? Sometimes it's a behavioral pattern that's so deep-seated we don't even know. So, in my case, someone in my life I grew up with used to do presentations just differently than this, because this wasn't available back then. And when that person would get ready for their presentations, I wasn't allowed to even breathe, let alone exist. right? Because that person was so focused on what they were doing. And that was hurtful to me. So, in turn, that's not what I desire to do to the people around me. But I will find myself getting angry when I get interrupted, when I get held back, when I don't get to do what I need to do. And I've seen men do that with their children and their wives. So if you know you need to be in a specific space at a specific time doing something in particular for your job, make sure that you have time that you need to get things ready away from other folks. And please don't split yourself between trying to please people and trying to get things done because it never works. Ever. You can't. You've got to draw some safe boundaries with yourself. And that's a big part of this energy shift. That's your next tool. Watch your boundaries with yourself. So for me, I make sure that I am done by a certain time in my day with this script for this broadcast. And I make sure it's early enough in the day that I have lots of time before we start. Now I'm learning I need lots more time to get the lights set up. But having that space is drawing a boundary with myself so I don't go into anger. Because if I wait until just a little bit closer to the time, then that triggers for me the person who I grew up with that got angry if you got into their space, right? It's a trigger. I don't desire to have that trigger in my life, so I'm working to scoot it out or to make it so that I don't run into that energy. I hope that makes sense to you. I hope you can resonate with that. Sometimes on this show, when I'm talking from my heart and using my own life example, I'm not really sure if people are connecting, but I did ask for some feedback from last week, and thank you to those of you that privately messaged me or put it publicly in the comments below. I really do appreciate it because my desired outcome is to serve you all. This is a show for empath and highly sensitive people who think they're nuts because their energy is going wiggy or this are happening and that is happening and people around them don't seem to be affected. That's how it was for me. That's why I started Tools of Energy Protection and that's why I started this show. So that you wouldn't feel weird, odd, unusual, however you want to look at it. And so that's what I'm doing here. If you have questions, please let me know. I'm starting to send out emails to ask people, a couple days in advance what their questions are because I can bring them live and I can say, hey, so-and-so wanted to know this and here's the answer because I know if you want to know, there's more people that want to know. So please step forward. All right, moving right along. This coming Thursday and Friday, if you desire to have a clearing session, which is to clear the energies, it's to release things you've been holding. It's a little bit like if somebody has a pus pocket, it's like popping it and letting the ooze come out. I know that's kind of gross, but if you have emotions that are just like that, this energy clearing will make you go, okay. I keep trying to get people to write testimonials about that, but some people are a little shy. So this Thursday and Friday, remember today is 7/9/2019, and this Thursday and Friday I will be at For Heaven's Sakes Books in Denver doing appointments for those of you that would like to come in. Thursday is my regular day. Friday is a special day. I had a lady the other day. She says, oh, I never call because I think you're always going to be booked. Okay. Sometimes I am. Sometimes you can get in at the last minute. Sometimes I have cancellations, so please call. If you can't get a time, they can put you on a wait list. But right now, I know that there are plenty of openings on Thursday and Friday. So 303-964-9339 for Heaven's Sakes Books in Denver, Colorado. And also coming up, I can't believe already, is the Celebration Fair, the Body, Mind, Spirit Expo at the Denver Merchandise Mart, September 7th through 9th. I will be there this year, so you might want to put that on your calendar. For those of you that are planning to come out to Denver and spend the night, it's a 3-day expo. It's awesome, lots of speakers, and I'll be there. And if you want to come on out, you want to make your plans now. All right, now, two other things to share. One, probably about 4 to 6 weeks ago, I did one of these lives. And I told you that something was coming up about on or about July 1st through the 4th. And I knew it would be a big event. And I thought it was along the same lines as 9/11. For those of you in the States, you remember that. But I knew it was going to be big, but I just didn't know what. And so it was brought to my attention that on July 4th, and I believe again on the 5th, if I'm not mistaken, my assistant let me know that there was an earthquake in California. And I think it was 125 miles northeast of Los Angeles. And it was a magnitude 6.4. And I believe there were other sections, and it maybe came the next day, and it was a 7.1, which I believe happened in Orange County. For those of you that are not familiar with California, it is a desert. It is an arid, dry place, and it gets hot. And if you've ever been in the heat without air conditioning, it really taxes your body. It can wear your physical body out. It can get your mind to where it doesn't think right if you don't have enough water or shade or even food. So I put a little meme out a couple of days ago here on both Instagram and Facebook that looks like my live is trying to reconnect here on the Instagram. I had technical issues. I'm hoping to get some people in here to help me so I don't have to worry about my technical issues here. Let's see if I can get this hooked up a little bit better. Okay, let's see, just a moment, and now I'll bring them back up here for Instagram. Okay, should be. Sorry. Yes, I'd like to get some people. If you're in the Loveland, Colorado area, and you'd like to come be part of my pit crew, then you're more than welcome to come back here. Hopefully it'll pick up somebody to run my, okay. Poor Instagram people here. Probably wondering what happened, but it looks like it's not gonna. Okay, looks like we're trying to reconnect. So anyway, back to the earthquake of California. 100-degree weather. You really, especially if you're older, your body doesn't survive as well in the heat. You need lots of water, you need shade. If you can get it, you need air conditioning. And I did hear that quite a few people were without power for a while, but they were able to restore it quickly. Don't know how quickly, but that would be for people that still had homes standing and could still receive power. So, oh, good, Instagram, you're back online. Good to see you. Talking about California and the earthquake. So I put out a meme a couple days ago that we would have a little meditation for the people there. And I want to do that and join in where one or more are gathered together in my name, there shall I be also. So for the people in, I believe it's Searless Valley, California, Ridgecrest, California, and what I'm understanding, 125 miles northeast of Los Angeles. Any of those of you that were in that tragic moment with the earthquake, and not only one but two of them, and your home may be destroyed or devastated. I'm going to ask that everybody that's watching this now or later join with me, Spirit, and the angels and forces of light, and just have a moment where we send our heart's energy together to God's Spirit or Source to commune, to be one with each other for this moment in time. And we ask the angels and the forces of light to go and comfort those who were in the earthquake, to help be expedient with those who are in need of shelter, those that are in need of comfort and air conditioning and food and water. But the people that are helping, the rescuers, the people that are sending money or trucks of water, that it would go easily and effortlessly to help all of those who are in need at this time to receive, and all the rescue workers to be rested, to have somebody to relieve and help them and their families. Send this out in space of love and joy, that it will be received with thanks. And we do this without judgment and in a space of humbleness with spirit. Good. Thank you for joining me in that. And know that it is done. So, coming up also, if you've been wanting to know how I work, how I started out in this business, how I connected with being more empathic and more highly sensitive, I started out working with a pendulum or a dowsing tool, which is in the Bible with Moses, again in the New Testament. So Wednesday, July 31st from 7 to 9, I will be at For Heaven's Sakes Books in Denver. And I will be teaching people how to douse, how to intuit or divine in a way that's attuned and attuned with God's Spirit or Source, in a way that's not scary. One of my students said they were afraid of what they might open or run into. And when you learn this system from me, you will learn how to connect with God's Spirit or Source in a way that's not scary, in a way that is loving and kind and of the light. So that again is going to be Wednesday, July 31st, 7 to 9. If you're Heaven's Sakes Books, if you'd like to register, please call the store or private message me if you're unable to find that information. And I will be posting it to toolsofenergyprotection.com very soon. Also, for those of you that want to come and see me at the bookstore Thursday or Friday, please do call the store. I did have some people get on and try to book, and they didn't find anything open on my online booking system on Tools of Energy Protection, and that's because the store handles those things. So just call them on toolsofenergyprotection.com under personal appointments. If you scroll down far enough, is the store's information, name, phone number, and how to reach them and what times they're open. So that is it for tonight. I thank you all so much for joining me. This is a very interesting time. Please stay tuned. I put up daily posts on Facebook and Instagram as well, so that you can know if there's energy shift updates or what's going on. Please tell your friends that are having trouble in this time, because that's why I'm here. I'm here for them. I'm here for you. I'm here to support people that are sensitive and don't know what's going on. And this is a time for people to be aware, awake, alert, at least given the information. You know, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink, right? But this is a safe place. This is a place to get to know things that you otherwise wouldn't know. Please share this with your friends. You know, share it on Facebook, share it on Instagram, share it on, I don't know if you can share it on Instagram, share it on YouTube. And help me get this word out there, because the desired outcome is that we know what's happening in here and now. We can be prepared for what's coming. We can work through these things just knowing that on the other side is going to be a life that's much lighter, much brighter, much more connected than the lives we've been living up to now. If you want to live the life you were living 7 years ago, good luck. Bye-bye. See you later. Love ya. But if you're ready to come on out and live a life that's more connected to God's Spirit or Source, so you have a heads up for what's coming, so you have some awareness, then it's time to come on board. Okay? Come on out. Come out from underneath those rocks. Come out from under those dark places. This is a time of the light. This is a time God's Spirit or Source has called each and every one of you to step up, be the empath you are, be the highly sensitive person that you are. Embrace it. Shine your heart light, as they said on ET, and let things be known. No more hiding, okay? If you're still having trouble and you're feeling challenged, then, you know, go on my website, toolsofenergyprotection.com, click on contact or private message me wherever you're seeing this video, and let's get together. Let's find out what's going on for you. I'm still giving out the crystalline shields. These are awesome and fantastic. I've had a few people call me this week. I gave them a crystalline shield a couple of weeks ago, and I had a lady call me back yesterday. She goes, "This is fantastic." She goes, "I've worked with you for years. It's the best thing that you've ever come across." And she felt lighter and more uplifted. And so this is an energetic shield that goes around right in this area, and it will help deflect negative juju, negative energy, negative thoughts, negative vibrations, sometimes even the things they put out in the airwaves that we absorb we don't even know about. But each and every person is having a different experience as I'm putting it on. Some people feel heavier, some people, feel frightened, and then we get it adjusted to where it needs to be the frequency for them. That would be, let's see here. That would be, oh, sorry, this. Okay, the frequencies are going up and down, and the crystalline shield helps you to be able to go through these turbulent times with less anxiety, less frustration, less fatigue. That's what the crystalline shield is about. And on Facebook, you can go and look at some of the recent reviews people have given me. There's nothing like a review. Other people letting you know how they feel. So big hug, love, and kisses to everybody. I am sending you all of my best love, and I can't wait to see you at For Heaven's Sakes Books, or if you want an appointment that's not this Thursday or Friday, I have plenty of openings on toolsofenergyprotection.com. Click appointments, pick out your date and time. If you want to be one-to-one on Zoom, it kind of looks like this. We could see each other. I do have a client in Ireland and one in Great Britain, and that's how we get together. So it does work. You don't have to be, up close and personal, although I do like hugs. All right, everybody. I am headed to the gym to work out, my frustrations of the day, and I hope you found a way to do that as well. And we'll be back here next Tuesday, toolsofenergyprotection.com, live at 7:30 p.m. Mountain Time. Send me your questions, send me your requests, and we'll get to those next week. Big love and hugs and kisses. Good night.